Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. The Dallas Cowboys make it a streak as they take down the New York not good at football Giants 27-20. Cowboys defense, how about them? Played a fantastic showing. They played very well. The run game, Rico Dowdle went for 100 yards. First time since week 3 of last year the Cowboys do it. They get a win. They hurt their draft pick status in the process and keep the very, 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 very slim playoff dreams alive. Give me your one-word reaction to the Cowboys-Giants game. One word only. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Several injury updates I unfortunately want to hit on this one. Juanyeh Thomas, apparent leg injury, carted off the field pretty early. Didn't look very good. Bad sign there. Josh Butler had a right knee injury. He was making a play downfield, and you probably saw the replay. The right leg steps, and it just like you see something happen below the knee or right on the knee, and that's a bad sign. And he was helped off the field, didn't return. He was ruled out pretty quickly. That is very troubling because he had earned his way onto the roster. Hopefully, he can get Diggs back next year. But there were a lot of injuries in general in this game, which I think certainly raises some concerns. But Butler and Juanyeh just look. Those ones didn't look very good. Finally, Tyler Guyton left the game with what was called an ankle/knee injury. Did not return. Hopefully, we get more details on that. Tonight, tomorrow, whatever. But Guyton was replaced by Chuma Edoga. Immediately got flagged for a penalty, and then wasn't a disaster class. Rush did not take a sack today. Again, overall, I thought your offensive line did a pretty solid job of protecting their guys. There were 2 pressures by Edoga and 1 by Steele, and that was it. They held up pretty good in that area. All right, takeaways against the Giants. Number 1, much like last week, my number 1 takeaway is not about the Dallas Cowboys. This Giants team sucks. Like, they are bad. I don't know if they're going to win a game the rest of the season. Like, you should have, if you were fully healthy, if you were playing like you did, if you were playing like you played last year, you beat them by 25. You win that game 45 to 15 or something. Like, that could have easily been a 40-burger game. They had a couple Drew Lock scrambles that got them touchdowns, essentially. Like, they had 2 drives on offense, really. Like, they didn't look very good in that game. I don't take that much away from what this Cowboys team did. Celebrate the win, enjoy it, team needs it, head coach needs it, whatever. This is not we're going to make a playoff run game for me, because that's a bad Giants team that you also kind of let hang around. They didn't score in the third quarter, and you still gave them a chance to kind of come back and win that game. I don't take away much from that game. I don't think your head coach had a great game, frankly. I thought he was kind of poor overall. Other players stepped up, but this is not this is a good team. That's a bad team you play. That team might be the worst team in the NFL right now. I don't read much into it. So are you glad the Cowboys won today? Maybe you want the tank. We'll spend time on that this week. Are you glad the Cowboys won today? Y for yes, N for no. Takeaway number 2, the defense played awesome. And they allowed 20 points. The 57 yards from Drew Lock were a bit of an issue. They sacked Drew Lock 6 times. They had a pick 6, a forced fumble of Drew Lock. The Giants running backs, outside of scrambles by Drew Lock, averaged like 3.5 yards per carry. Cowboys defense, again, did a good job. Now, the last drive, that's back-to-back weeks. You can't have that. They've had some fourth quarter woes, which might have been nicer if you could have put that game away a little bit earlier. You allowed 20 points. You basically gave the offense 14. It's going to go maybe 11 or maybe 10 if you want to give them the field goal instead. But defense has done a good job. I have liked what I've seen from Mike Zimmer. I like what this defense has done. Eric Kendricks, playing through injury, played great. Deron Bland, 9 tackles and a PBU. Overshown, 9 tackles, a pick 6, and a fumble recovery. Donovan Wilson played well. Micah Parsons had a sack and a half in this game. Osa had a sack. Carl Lawson had a sack. Mozzie Smith had a half sack. The Giants, outside of the opening drive and the final drive, in which really was garbage time, to be fair, didn't move the ball. The defense has played well. I think there's still room for improvement, but And Giants are not a good football team. 2 drives was all they had. I'll give some credit to the defense there. Today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. It is the best place to get real money sports action. Over 10 million members and billions of dollars in award winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. It is available in over 30 states, including California, Florida, Georgia, and Texas. You get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Here is a Black Friday Prize Picks and a football slate for you. Patrick Mahomes, more than passing yards. And I'll go Jacoby Myers, doesn't pop off this week, less than 52.5 receiving yards. Again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You don't even need to win to get the $50 bonus. It is guaranteed. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Number 3 takeaway. This is, you have to keep feeding Rico Dowdle. I think getting away from him in kind of that second quarter was a mistake. This was by far his best game. 22 carries, 112 yards. That's 5.1 yards per carry. That's awesome. And had 1 long run of 22. Had some other explosive runs. The Giants were banged up. I acknowledge all of that. Rico Dowdle had 123 yards of offense today. That's pretty good. The fact that it took you this long to fully go, yeah, Rico's our best back, and give him borderline workhorse carries, I think it's a damning indictment of your overall coaching staff. And a lot of things you saw today, kind of the underlying stuff beyond a 7-point win, it's a huge reason why you go, yeah, this is not a coaching staff that should be brought back next year. It's not a head coach that should return. Cooper Rush, I thought, did his job. 5.4 yards per attempt is actually worse than Drew Lock, but he didn't have an interception and a fumble. I think asking him to drop back 36 times is probably not what I would do. The 2 near fumbles can't happen, but this type of game, playing a bad football team, your defense plays well, you can run the football. That's what you expect out of Cooper Rush, and that's what you got. He did his job. He's not a long-term starting option for any NFL team, but as a backup, this is a game you need a bus driver. Back-to-back weeks, bus driver wins you the game. Bus driver delivered, and I'm happy to give him his flowers for that. All right, grade the Cowboys against the Giants. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. One player that's got to get called out, CeeDee Lamb. You can't have more drops than catches when you're supposed to be this team's superstar wide receiver. Now, one of those drops was going to get at least a first down and more. I think the other 2 were going to be short. But you can't have 3 drops, man. You're better than that. He knows he's better. And he's banged up. He's not healthy. He hurt the shoulder again. We'll see how that limits him moving forward. But you got to be better, CeeDee Lamb. Nice 22-yard catch. Cool. 3 drops? Come on. And he knows it. But, when you play the Bengals next week, you ain't going to win with that. You're not going to anything that matters with that. So it was a bad game from Lamb. Turpin stepped up, helped him out. Dowdle stepped him up. How about defense? Sure as shit did. Lamb's got to be better. Don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news right here on the channel. Hit that sub button. YouTube.com/CowboysTV. Free Cowboys videos each and every single day. Let's go through my keys to victory. What did you have to get the win? Number 1, defense delivers. I think they did. 6 sacks, 2 takeaways. That's going to win you a lot of football games. When you play like that on defense, good things normally happen to your overall team. Cooper Rush, I thought was steady enough. Maybe even probably better than the stat line says because there were multiple drops in this one. Not that 21 of 36, which is, again, under 60%, which is about what he is in his career, is particularly good. But Hit a deep ball to Tolbert. I like seeing that. Drew Lock, tank commander. Some good scrambles, but 6 sacks, and he held the ball too long sometimes. Two turnovers. Kind of happened. Brandon Aubrey was good. Made both field goal tries. They didn't try some longer field goal kicks they could have attempted today. They wanted to make the Giants go the length of the field, which they only did one time once they tried that stuff. And for the most part, they didn't have a letdown game. They kind of had a letdown fourth quarter because it was garbage time and they scored 10 points. But they didn't have the letdown disaster class scary hour collapse. So mostly, all of those hit.